The daily 9-to-5 grind. The hustle and bustle of people plugged into the pressures of the conventional path. It can stifle anybody, unless you got an escape. Chris and Cam had just that problem. That is, before they decided to get unyoked.
The feeling was one of claustrophobia. Being in a concrete cubicle, fluorescent lights, and a boss that's pinging you 24/7. We weren't built for this sort of life, and we're not computers.
Too often these days, people mistake making a living for having a life. We've commoditized being busy. Busyness is the first thing that you chat to with your mates, how busy you are. Doing nothing is seen as something that's bad. We want to reclaim it as something that's actually critical to being busy.
My name is Chris Grant.
I'm Cam Grant, and our company's called Unyoked.
We found ourselves in managerial roles in large corporations. We got fed up, I guess. The issue we had was really with corporate conventions in the 9 till 5. It's a remnant from the industrial days. Everyone has a device on them 24/7, and it's not good for you. We're seeing mental health issues, conflicts are increasing, burnout increasing. People need to get away from it all. And that was the real spark for Unyoked to begin.
We build and design mobile off-the-grid cabins that are totally sustainable, so they capture rainwater, they're solar-powered composting toilet. And then we find private landowners who want to share their unique wilderness locations that are only 2 hours away from the city, where you won't see anyone, you won't hear anyone, and it gives you that feeling of awe, that feeling that you're amongst and dwarfed by nature. Just being out at nature, it lowers cortisol levels, so it makes you de-stressed, gets rid of anxiety, increases creative problem solving, increases productivity. What we wanted to do was try and get that feeling of real disconnection where you're in the middle of nowhere, but make it easier.
Well, a yoke is something that's on and it's connects the animal to a cart. So when you unyoke an animal, you set them free. And so it really means what we're trying to help people do. We're trying to set them free from the yoke of modern life.
Chris and Cam cut the safety net and took to the woods. Back home in Australia, their adventure began. And out of their own need to get outdoors, people followed.
It's been a real journey to get to where we are today. A lot of late hours, a lot of wondering if it's going to work.
There were definitely some people around that were like, people aren't going to do this during the week. You're just going to have a couple of cabins. It's too expensive. It's not going to work. You know, we've got thousands of people on the wait list waiting to try it because of all these stories that people have told them.
Somebody comes in, from the city and they're used to flicking a switch that's connected to the grid that powers it up, and they come to the cabin and there's nothing plugged in. And then they spend a few days in our cabins and then they're having more respect for it when you head home.
It was something that we all used to know innately, but we've forgotten somewhere along the way, and gradually we're starting to remember it. That thing that you're worried about actually doesn't, in the scheme of things, matter at all. And you don't need to download a meditation app and get green juice every day. You can just literally walk outside.
By taking to the wilderness, Chris and Cam are changing expectations about how we spend our time. That takes conviction. That's Unyoked.